We are the same person in male and female font, I guess.
Yeah, love that.
Okay, so it just opened up with this very first scene. This is like the first scene on this episode. Oh, I didn't even make an introduction. Welcome back. Season 8, Love is Blind, episode 5. So we just opened up. They're in the lounge, obviously. And right away, she's saying, I'm the same exact person as Dave. What red flag experience are the rest of us having that Molly isn't having? Because he made derogatory humor jokes with other women, but not with Molly. And I do wonder about that. Is Dave putting on a better front for Molly versus everybody else?
The random little things are the same, and then like the big actual values are the same.
Okay.
I spent the last day being like, the way he talks to me is either like he's really good at like talking a big game here to two different people, or she's interpreting this differently.
It's very confusing for me because me and Molly are so similar. We haven't had super deep conversations, but we like all the same things. We agree on all the same things.
I don't know how we don't have that.
I think what's held us back, me and you, is not knowing.
I didn't know if you were seeing other guys still. We haven't really
Okay, I don't know about any of this conversation now. So basically, I don't know why Dave is trying to save or salvage the relationship right now. It feels like he is in this conversation saying things like, well, we haven't had the conversation. I don't know if you were dating people. And Molly, she just told me that she's not dating anyone else. And I don't know why Lauren is fighting so hard for a guy who's already basically picked Molly. You know, like, why is she putting up with it? But then maybe it's just like to double check because they are having their own unique connections. But I can understand her want to fight for something that she thinks might be there, even though I just hope both of these women see that Dave is a not great person.
Molly, she's told me, I want you to like figure out what you need to figure out.
Yeah.
So I've like really respected that. I was like, thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I do need to figure things out.
It frustrates me like how torn you are, and I get it. I do get it.
Yeah,
Hard to do.
I'm glad you haven't like given up.
I really do want to.
No, you don't. Please don't.
I think that would be like,
Okay, so like now they're at the point of the conversation where she's really saying this is hard, like make a decision. And he's just like, well, don't leave. And she's like, I want to leave. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you fighting so hard for this thing? There's got to be some real social pressure to being on the show, to be honest, that makes you stay and fight for something that's so obviously not it. But then people do this even without the show's construct. Like, we do this in real life. We hold on and we fight so hard for relationships that are so obviously bad for us because we're not given the benefit of like viewing it from the outside in, you know?
It would be the easy way out.
yeah, this is why we're here.
I know. I can just picture you like smiling but crying.
Okay, I have a theory that he chooses Lauren because he thinks she's easier to control. But he wants Molly to have fun with, but I think he's going to pick Lauren because she's easier to manipulate. That's my theory. I have no spoilers with Dave, so I do not know who he picks.
It doesn't feel good to feel like this, but I know like how it could feel like if this does work out.
Yes.
So like I want to hold out hope for that.
See, now I feel like I'm getting myself in a position where I'm telling you things that I shouldn't because it might not be fair to her, but like I've never told Molly that she's like my number one choice.
Oh,
I
Right.
would not have told her
Yeah.
that knowing
Well-
how I feel about you.
well, wait. Is that true that he never told Molly she was his number one? Because I thought he did, and then Lauren had their feelings hurt that she was number 2.
I told you like I could see myself proposing to you.
Yeah.
I have not said that to anyone else. And I actually really can. Sometimes I feel like I'm reverting back to my old ways, basically like getting scared of my feelings for you.
I don't know what's happening. This conversation is so weird. Basically, Dave's saying he's always making mistakes. He's never made the right decision. He's afraid to make the wrong mistake again. And he's basically comforting her and saying that I've never said things to you that I've said to other people, or I've never said things to other people that I've said to you. I don't know if that's true. I feel like the girls should be talking more. I feel like the best thing to ever happen on Love is Blind is if the women actually do talk to each other about everything the men are telling them. Because I feel like half the problem is that people don't share who they're talking to. And then they believe the guy is telling them, oh, I've never told anyone I was interested in marriage. Like, he's telling her very specific things right now. And you know how to clear this mess up? By talking to Molly. Now, assuming the problem is, I think people will get into their head that like, oh, the girls could be lying. The boys could be lying. Anybody could be lying. So it's kind of like if they came together as like a team, then the girls could filter out the fakes really quick, you know?
Been in there for like an hour and a half.
What did he promise?
Well, he didn't promise, but I never asked him to do anything. He just said, I feel like I know at the end of this that I need to end it.
Oh.
With my next person.
So Dave, okay, let's see if Dave made an empty promise to Molly, and let's see how she feels after Lauren comes back in, because this is, again, why we should be talking to each other.
Hello. Hi.
How'd your date go? It was good. It was really good. I think I like I'm like hearing something really different.
Yeah, same.
She was saying that
Okay. The girls are chit-chatting. Lauren's just come in. She's grabbed a drink. And they're already off the bat talking about how they're getting different stories.
he said he's gonna break it off with you.
He told her that he was gonna break it off with me. That's not what he said to me.
Well, exactly. I was like, I just sat there and I was like, wow, this is also interesting.
I straight up said to him, I'm like, hey, one of the listeners said that you told her she was your number one. He was like, I did not say that.
I think he's playing you guys.
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. So yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Madison is saying, hey, I think he's playing you guys, which is true. Whether Dave intends it or not, let's see if the girls make each other the enemy or Dave the enemy.
You know, I woke up, excited and kind of sad at the same time.
Why do you feel you were sad?
A couple days ago, it's like, Dave is my number one. Like, I'm not gonna front. The guy of my dreams, Like, I respect you so much, Devin.
Yeah.
I think you're such a great person. Growing up, whatever your mom put in front of you for dinner, that's what you ate. But as I got older, it's like, I can have anything I want because it's my world now, and I'm paying for it. Like I said, it would have been great to hear something else when I shared that with you, but I still don't want you to just tell me what I want to hear. Just knowing that you may be a little more rigid than I would like, within a partner, I just kind of felt like, I don't think that this is going to be good for me.
Oh, I love her. This is kind of amazing. We get queer representation or bisexual representation. We get her standing up for herself. We get a kindness in the message. We get like a great fashion statement. We get a lot of really good things in this moment. Let's see how Devin reacts, but I'm really proud of Brittany. It really means so much to see queer people, especially, or I don't know if they identify as queer, but for her to put down her boundaries and say, as a gay person, as a bisexual person, I need to stand firm in my joy in this regard. I need a supportive partner,
We're not each other's person.
No, I get it. And
Oh, yes.
honestly, I kind of see it the same way as it just, I don't think it was going to work out for us in the long run.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I got to get to know you.
Oh, this is a really nice breakup. Okay, this is pretty good so far.
I appreciate that. I think I know the other girl that you're dating.
Yep.
I think she's a great woman.
Okay, very strong friendships, very strong friendly vibes, I should say. They ended on a note, maybe we'll be friends. Who knows? Maybe they won't, maybe they will. They'll probably see each other in future episodes. Really proud of Brittany for standing up for herself. Good of Devin to take it with stride. He didn't get defensive, didn't get angry. You've seen some of the breakups in the past where the men have reacted very poorly, where maybe some of the women have reacted poorly. So Sarah and Devin? Oh my God, Ben. Sarah and Ben just had their date. It went pretty well. Bunch of small talk. Nothing really happened. I was kind of waiting for them to have like a hard conversation. Didn't see one. But now they're in the women's lounge. So let's see what happens here.
How you doing?
He said like everything you'd want to hear.
You still feeling right now the way you felt like a couple hours ago?
It's not like we have opposing viewpoints. I just need like reassurance that because those social causes have been so important and like influential into my life and like my values, I just want to make sure we be on the same page.
That's, I think, the big question of like, do you
Ooh, that's a very interesting thing to take into consideration. We're not on opposing sides. Even though you're not on opposing sides, you might be too far right to be with someone too far left. Your values have to be closer together than further together. And though Ben might be a centrist, which is the sin of them all, really, it puts her at a feeling of not feeling secure because as she goes more progressive, he stays here, and the further they'll be, right? Like they'll be further apart. Maybe he'll go more right, maybe he won't. But even if he doesn't go more right-winged, if he stays a centrist or a neutral, and she gets more and more deep, and it's going to break up the marriage. One of the commitments I think my partner and I have together is to grow together. And that's a very big commitment to make. Most people get to a point of comfortability and remain stagnant. And so to commit as a couple to getting better, to improving as people, that's like a very big commitment. And I think a lot of people need to make more of those commitments, but I think it's ingrained in us not to even think about it. So many of my girlfriends ended up divorcing, leaving their boyfriends, breaking up with their men because the men found a place, got stagnant, and the women just kept educating themselves, kept moving forward, kept becoming progressive, like kept moving. And the marriage just eventually broke up because, you're not growing together. You have to grow in the same direction.
When I talk with you,
There's no question that we have a connection. And I know we don't have opposing viewpoints, but that has been so important to my life, especially in just like the last couple years.
I'm not looking at it as your responsibility to like help me with that. I don't want you to have any burden or any weight on your shoulder thinking that you have to teach me, because I do have that motivation to, you know, grow into that and that internal feeling that we do have the same beliefs in these things, and yes, we will, you know, be on the same side with these things.
Okay, well, him and Sarah have talked through it. I don't know what I'll be able to include because of the edit rules, but basically he's saying that he's going to grow in a direction with her. Actually, I should mention, because I just remembered, I think I've been spoiled on this because David Pacman on YouTube had a thumbnail with Sarah's face in it with a headline that gave me a spoiler. I didn't watch the video, but the title was a spoiler. So I actually do think I know what happens based off of that thumbnail alone.
I'm on my right knee.
Oh my God.
Okay, so again, I don't know what I'll be able to include in the edit, but they're obviously getting married. He's gonna propose, she's gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Molly's your one, right? Or you don't know?
That's the confusing thing. I mean, no, Lauren was my one.
Lauren was.
Yeah, like me.
Oh, now we're in the boys' lounge. And Dave is telling Devon that actually Lauren was his number one, not Molly. But I swear, now I can't remember. Didn't he tell Molly she was his number one?
The main thing for me is like running from my own feelings. It's like I feel like it actually might work.
Obviously, like it's your sister, but I think you got to think about what's best for you in the end.
I'm a little confused. Dave is crying and getting emotional by the fact that his sister is playing a role in this somehow. Obviously, I was distracted by the fact that Joey was using the toothpick picks in his mouth, which, by the way, are the, you know, the floss picks in his mouth the whole time. It was grossing me out, so I got distracted a bit. And by the way, it's not even how you use those. But anyways, Dave is crying because he's afraid of how his sister will react, which I think plays into some level of infantilization for Dave and like not growing up properly, you know, to some extent. Because like, I get he's the baby brother, but also like you're a grown up. So I'm a little confused at why your sister's opinion matters this much. Like with peace and love to my siblings, I love them and their opinions matter, but like not this much. You know what I mean?
I don't think that I'm dumb. I don't think that I'm dumb. But I also don't think she's dumb. She apparently was waiting for me to walk in all night because he said he was going to end things with me.
Is it the way, like, where's the miscommunication? Because Dave behind the scenes with the boys doesn't seem like he's conniving and manipulative. He seems like he's really going through it. He's crying. But then the edits, and if you look back at them, and I don't know because Netflix edits it, the implication is that he is kind of playing with them. Or is he playing with himself? Is Dave so insecure as a person that he doesn't know what he wants literally? So he's leading them on, sort of, because of that?
But mainly just because I'm like, I don't think I'm fucking dumb, but I might be.
You know, Lauren said something interesting. She keeps saying, like, I don't think I'm dumb, but maybe I am. You know, you're not dumb because you believe people when they tell you things. She has no reason to doubt Dave, except, of course, the impression he gave her when they first met. But she's not stupid for believing him. I mean, I think that part of this experiment requires you to have a certain belief in the person you're talking to. I think what's happening is the girls aren't talking. The biggest dilemma I've been seeing, and I'll say it again for the 100th time, Molly and Lauren should be talking. And the fact that they're not trusting each other through this process is the problem. She has the tattoo. Lauren has that tattoo. The patriarchy. What part of the patriarchy isn't playing a role in the fact that these women are seeing each other as enemies? Why in the world are you not confiding in Molly and trusting her? Because she's a person? Because she's a stranger? What is Dave? A person and a stranger. And right now, the best way to form communication to make sure you're on the same page is to confide in each other with good faith. So, you know, you can say fuck the patriarchy and you can get it tattooed all you want, but you have to live it, girl.
I really wanted to work out with Dave and I just have a gut feeling that it's right. And usually when I get these gut feelings, I'm not wrong. So I'm really just not sure why he hasn't broken off with the other girl yet.
It's been a very weird day.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been crying for the last hour.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why.
Oh man, I'm just like freaked out because like I know our conversation earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm like freaked out by myself because I'm like, how can I be such a different like person from like hours ago?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
You were thinking about sending shit.
Well, I didn't say I was gonna end it, but I was cool with that until I got into my date with Lauren, and that's when everything in my head started spinning.
I mean, do you think that there's a reason that you're so conflicted? Like, I don't know. I mean, we don't have to keep talking about it, but...
I mean, I don't know what else we're gonna do.
Yeah, true.
So I try really hard in my normal life not to make like emotional decisions.
Yeah.
And it's very hard, but like...
But it is emotion. Like,
I know.
the decision in itself is the most emotional decision you can make.
really struggling with this. I don't, oh.
Do you need to think about it, or like what's your?
They're at this point in the conversation between Molly and Dave where basically they're having the hard conversation. He's flip-flopping. He's saying he wants to be the best version of himself and make a good decision. He's saying he doesn't know what to do. And I just want Molly to say, okay, then I'll do something. I'm breaking up with you. And I just hate it because she's like trying to comfort him, but she's also making it clear, like, I'm not going to do this emotional labor for you, which I appreciate. At least that's the vibe I'm getting, where she's just like, okay, I'm sorry you're hurting. But also, like, why are you so conflicted? Why can't you pick one of us? I think she should end it with Dave. And she's going to, my theory is like, hopefully she ends it with Dave. He ends up with Lauren because of that. But he wanted to pick Lauren anyways. But somebody just got to make a decision. I know in this scenario, technically Dave would be the one making the decision. But the girls are allowed to make the decision to break up too, just like Brittany did. Let's go, Molly.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to make a super emotional decision, but like, I don't know. I like literally never cry either.
I appreciate that you're like showing emotion and crying. Like I really don't think that's a bad thing. Like I don't think you're a bad person either way.
I hate that it's like this, but yeah, I do have, like, me and Lauren, I feel like I do have to like see that through.
Oh. Yeah. Do you feel like you guys have that emotional connection more?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he told Molly, like, I have to see it through with Lauren. And that's surprising that he pulled the trigger. Okay.
So then I feel like you've made your decision, right?
I hate that it's like that though. I hate that it's like I made a decision. Like,
I mean, you can say that.
Yeah, I mean,
You're allowed to say that.
Okay. Why are you so cool about it? I don't get that.
I'm not cool deep down about it, but I have consistently said from the beginning that I want someone to choose me. I'm confident in myself and what I bring to the table, and
yeah,
I know that if someone's not choosing me, they're not my person. Tell me, in your ideal world, what happens right now?
What do you mean?
I feel like you're trying to say that you're choosing her, but without saying that, and
No. He did say I need to pursue it with Lauren unless the editing is out of sync. It does feel like he's trying to make her break up with him, but at the same time, he just did it. He just broke up with her. He just said I need to see it through with Lauren. And then she's supposed to say, okay, thanks for this time, and walk away.
Me make the decision?
No, I'm not.
Are you trying to end it with me?
Yes.
I think you should own your decision and make it.
No, I know, and I thought I just did.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
He didn't say I want to break up with you, which he should have. He said I want to pursue it with Lauren, and I got to see that through, which is a breakup. See, who's autistic now? As an autistic person, I can understand the script. Okay, that's interesting. I guess maybe she needed the reassurance. Like, just say you want to break up with me.
I appreciate your sorry.
Yeah, no. Take your time. Do whatever you need to do.
I was like honest with him and said, I want someone that wants me fully. I would not have said shit in front of you. Like,
Yeah, no, I know.
And I hope you know that.
Yeah.
I really thought
like,
it was
totally-
Sarah until Sarah was like, it wasn't me. And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay.
I hate that they waited until this moment to finally have a real conversation. So Molly gets dumped. She comes in. Lauren is there to receive her, to do the emotional labor, which is so beautiful. But I wish they had talked before this point, at least via the edit.
And that's why you like were sleeping or distancing or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And like, I just want to like be so honest.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, that's why I was like so in my
I felt
head.
that, yeah.
And I don't like, and that's not you. That's literally not
Yeah.
you. And I
It's
want
just
to
he
reassure.
made me, yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry. Say it.
No. This is why it's weird, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
No, it's okay. Say it. It's fine.
Just promises were made.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay, so where did you like leave? Like, did he go home?
no, he wants to pursue things with you, which I think is great.
You're gonna either like love this or hate this. I was like, I can't tell who's more Delulu. Like,
Yeah, yeah, I know. Like, literally.
Okay, good. There's some transparency happening with the language, just like both of them admitting that they knew something was off, but they weren't talking to each other, which could have saved them so much work. I do think he overpromised to Molly. I do think he implied in a lot of ways he was going to choose Molly. I'm not surprised he chose Lauren. Like I said, I think subconsciously he thinks he can be the man in the relationship with Lauren versus Molly would be, she's too self-reassured. It pains me to see Molly so distraught, but also I feel like she really dodged a bullet. Now Lauren has to dodge the bullet.
I'm scared of like being happy for some reason.
yeah.
I think the biggest thing that freaked me out is that my mind could just change so much throughout a certain, like one day.
I just talked to Molly. She kind of said what I said to you earlier too, that I'm like, are you just like validating both of us and like making us feel like this? Were there promises you made about ending things with me earlier today?
No.
Okay. So she is holding him accountable and trying to say, did you lead us on? What happened?
I never ever made a promise.
She was like, I can tell you promises that were made.
That's weird to say it like that because we didn't promise anything.
I don't know that he formally promised Molly, but there might be a communication error in the way that they communicate. You know, like Molly wasn't sure if he was like fully breaking up with her, even though he was. Maybe she needs like direct, maybe she's autistic, maybe she needs like direct. And I only say that because like she might be following, or maybe she's not autistic. I don't know. I'm just, because I'm autistic, but I'm picking it up. But I'm only picking it up also because I know what's happening and I have information she doesn't have. I don't know.
So are you like trying to get me to end it with you? And I was like, huh? I feel like she was like trying to flip it on me too. And I was like, I kind of just told you like that I have really strong feelings for another girl. Like, I thought that was relatively clear.
Yeah, it's like a communication error. So now he's thinking Molly's manipulating him and turning it around on him. But I think there's like which is a sign that they're not compatible because they're having huge communication problems.
I will say, like, she was definitely, I don't know, she's hurt. I think she, like,
Anyone's gonna be hurt after this process.
I think there were probably times or like things that you said that made her feel like you were choosing her as number one.
For sure. And I totally understand how that can get like, you know, the communication and everything is very hard.
Yeah.
He's getting defensive and she's trying to defend Molly, which I cannot believe this isn't enough for her to turn around and not pick him. But okay.
For her to say that I said she was my number one, if I said that, that would have been a lie. Because you've been my number one for the past, like, as long as I can remember.
Yeah. Interesting, because Devon thought it was Molly. And Dave said, no, actually it's Lauren. So why would Devon think his number one was Molly? Make it make sense.
Lauren was like the immediate first one I wrote down.
I know you trust your relationship with your sister.
Well, yeah.
And I know you trust her. And you're in this position where you said, I feel like from day one, that you're nervous because your sister is like, no one's gonna meet your expectations.
Yeah.
And now I like don't want to go back to that life.
No, I don't either.
I want to figure out a life with you.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This cannot go well. I just cannot foresee this going well. Oh, I hate when they run fast. I hate it. Ugh, I get so much anxiety when they run fast because, like, how do you not tackle the person after? How do you know what I mean? It always looks like they're about to tackle them.
Oh my God. I can't believe it. I can't believe we know so much about each other and we're really just meeting each other.
Right. Like, oh my, holy crap. You are beautiful.
You are so handsome. Wow.
That's cute. Do you love me?
Yeah, I do. I love you.
Oh my gosh, I love you too.
I love you.
Oh, interesting. He asked, like, do you love me? Wow. Actually, kind of interesting. I don't know if anyone's ever asked that, like, do you love me? But yeah, okay. Nice to seek out reassurance and stuff.
Is it like, because I didn't know how it was going to be, like, am I going to see this person then just kind of like lose the connection?
No, I know.
And I'm like, the connection couldn't be stronger.
Well, I was like, asked, does it matter what he looks like? I'm like, honestly, no. And like,
it's
everything that it's supposed to be.
You are literally the most lovable person I've ever met. You just naturally have like those motherly, like nurturing qualities and you don't even try. And like, that's a weird thing to be attracted to, but like, I'm super attracted to that.
Yeah.
Lauren, will you marry me?
I will, Dave.
Oh my God.
All right, Dave and Lauren are engaged. Well, this can't end well, right?
It's a big one coming up.
Yeah.
So, numero uno.
Oh, awkward. So Devon knows. So Alex told Devon a few episodes ago that they share number one. And now Mason is about to go do his number one where he's going to get rejected. And Devon knows it's coming and Alex knows it's coming, but Mason doesn't know it's coming. Oh, girl. Okay, here we go.
Okay. It's exciting. Yep.
Oh, there's a part of this that must feel like a betrayal because Alex is being like kind of supportive, even though he knows he's about to go get dumped. Oh, that's hard. It's hard to know what to do socially.
Can't imagine going into today and not knowing who, dude.
Alex, be quiet. Stop talking. He knows. Like, I think he should be the least quiet. No, I think he should be the most quiet.
If you have a connection, I think you should go.
I'll let you guys know after. I'm emotional.
It's a big one.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Alex keeps trying to comfort Mason, which feels like a weird betrayal. Like, why are you being so comforting towards Mason if you know he's about to get dumped?
Heard the news.
What's that?
Because Alex came in and said he's engaged, but he didn't say to who?
I kind of assumed that you knew before coming into this, but yesterday kind of like had these like instincts and like gut feelings about things.
Okay, I'm glad that she did it before they started eating and really getting into things. She's telling him right away.
I just think that maybe this is not our story. I was able to get there faster with someone else.
I feel like I added some unnecessary pressure when I told you that I like was committing to you. When I said it, I don't know if it felt right.
Oh.
It was an unfair thing to do to both the people I was seeing.
Okay, I can't tell if he's getting defensive and gonna switch stories. For some reason I am blinking so hard. Who is the other person that Mason was talking to? Mason, what? Where are my notes? Meg! My little conspiracy theorist, Meg! I totally forgot about Meg. My bad. Ooh, this episode could get spicy.
I just think you were probably saying very similar things to both of us. You know, Meg and I did talk.
Oh.
I think you tried to keep two good things going at once, and I don't know, might have lost both of them.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did mess it up with both Meg and Madison.
I didn't come into this trying to have two things going at once.
I'm not faulting you for that. Like, that's just what this is, right?
You know, maybe you could have been a little bit more decisive, but it's neither here nor there. At this point, for me, maybe we can be friends.
Maybe not.
No, that probably sucks to hear, though.
No, for sure. Everything happens for a reason, so, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat this breakfast.
No, that's crazy. I would absolutely have eaten that breakfast. No food waste. We waste so much food. We are such food wasters. That's exactly what I was thinking this whole time. They better not waste that food. Why did she say I appreciate it? Appreciate what? Eat the food. It's pancakes.
I wish you the best in your conversations today. Just be honest.
Yep.
Oh.
Got it.
Madison's kind of lecturing him. She's kind of mad, bro. Which I get. Maybe she's seeing his BS. Fingers crossed for Meg.
Breakups taste good.
Breakups good.
He was just a little bit of a clown.
Oh, she does not like him. Oh, she's like very anti-Mason.
Got broken up with, basically.
Oh. Damn. Sorry, dude. How you doing, man?
Good.
No, Alex! Why is Alex doing all the comforting? Like, I get he's trying to be a good person because he knows, but also it's kind of being a bad person because, like, read the room. Because does Mason know? Because then it kind of feels like fake. Like, you're only showing me affection because you know you got the girl I wanted.
Feeling all right? They're talking over there, and I don't know what's being said.
Like, you want to say, what happened? We're talking about you?
Yeah, I definitely said something that I regretted. It's definitely gonna come back to haunt me.
Interesting. So now Mason's story is that I only told Madison I was committed to her, but I didn't really mean it because I didn't know I didn't mean it. And actually, I was going to talk to Madison today and tell her that. But before I could, Madison broke up with me. And now she's telling Meg that I said that to her. I don't know if I believe him. And I don't think that it matters. Saying something you don't mean, like I'm committed to you and no one else, that's not a mistake you can be making in love.
How you doing?
Oh, Mason, we got some shit to talk about, don't we?
Yes, we do.
This can't end well, right?
I mean, I'm definitely not in a bad mood. I mean, I feel for you because I know that like you had a connection that ended and you found out in a weird way. But I also like am super bummed out because it definitely made me feel some type of way.
I had feelings for two people here, you being one of them, Madison being the other. I validated Madison. When I did, it just did not feel right. I clearly said it to the wrong person.
I just feel like this is too serious of an issue to be like, I was confused and I committed to the wrong person.
Did you feel confused though before or after you found out that she was with Alex? That's the question.
Mm-hmm. Did he even know she was with Alex? Did Mason just realize it was Alex for the first time?
No, if I was your number one that you would pick. If now I'm just here by default.
There is no one here that made me feel genuinely like myself the way that you have. I mean, I can't even explain how happy you've made me. You were my first date in the pods, and I put a 10 down right next to your name, and no other girl got a 10. You've always been my number one.
So that is the end of the episode. They're leaving us on a cliffhanger. We'll jump into the next episode and see what happens. But I will say the things that stood out for me in this episode. Girls need to talk to each other more. Boys need to talk to each other more. People need to be transparent. But more than that, this is just too big of a mistake with something as serious as lifetime partnership, right? So I'm sorry, Mason, but it's a no from me. No way. All right, I'll see you guys for the next one.